So as a part of National Poetry Month, which is April, happy National Poetry Month, I was commissioned by, as a part of a project to select a piece of art from the McNay's permanent collection to write an ekphrastic poem in response to. And traditionally, the goal of ekphrasis was to describe something so vividly that someone who couldn't see the artwork could see it. You could describe it for them. But these days, an ekphrastic poem sometimes is describing the artwork explicitly, but more often it's really thinking and contemplating and interrogating an encounter. You know, what did you see? How do I see it? Where does this work take me? When I encountered the sculpture Charm and Weight, which was actually made by a friend and collaborator of mine, the artist Katie Pell. And I didn't plan on writing about it, but Katie passed away not long ago. And I think when I encountered it, it was like she was in the room again. She was, in many ways, a larger-than-life presence in the San Antonio art community. The poem I wrote is actually, in some ways, an elegy. And some people say that elegy and ekphrasis have a lot in common. The critic John Berger says that in some ways, ekphrasis is like this corridor that takes the poet from the moment of encounter all the way back in time to the moment of creation. And so when I kind of came upon this piece, I couldn't help but kind of traveling back to imagine Katie making it. And I think the poem kind of came out of that. This is a poem called Charmed Are Your Unformed Wishes. It's for Katie Pell. Instead of coming to terms with your death, I research the divination of bluebirds. I turn the horseshoe up like a power ballad. I witness the tit amulet. I wish until wishing becomes a substitute teacher for waves of hot loneliness. Then I practice sit. Then I practice stay. You can't explain everything. In theory, it becomes easier to imagine something solid if you can imagine passing something soft or sheer across the surface. The shadow of the wing inside the feather, or the wing of the shadow hawked like loss. I wish you were every unfinished sentence. I wish to touch the baby's foot for luck. I still imagine your powerful hands, banded in silver, the wrist of your absence, dangling a bracelet the size of a great tree. I wish until my wishes become branches of that stinking sumac where we left handfuls of your thin platinum hair once it began falling out, praying it might be charmed into nests. Also known as Tree of Heaven, I still check for any illuminated threads. And if I actually die, you said then, promise me you'll write a poem that rhymes cancer with dancer and give me credit.